Stephen A. Smith to veteran QB. If you can't win job against Shedeur Sanders, retire. Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson runs out of the pocket looking for an open receiver in the second half at Lincoln Financial Field. John Kuntz. Deshaun Watson was brought in by the Cleveland Browns to be the answer at quarterback. ESPN's Stephen A. Smith now says if Watson cannot win back the starting job in 2026, he should retire. Smith made his comments on Thursday's edition of ESPN's Get Up. Smith and the other panelists on the show were discussing a response new Browns head coach Todd Monken made Wednesday while at the NFL Scouting Combine in Indianapolis. Monken mentioned that Watson, Shedeur Sanders, and Dillon Gabriel would all be competing for the starting job throughout OTAs and training camp. Smith challenged Watson to show up for a potential competition. If he were to lose out, Smith suggested Watson end his career. "Let me look on national TV and tell Deshaun Watson this," Smith began. "Considering the Cleveland situation, combined with the money you're still owed, if you can't win the starting job in Cleveland this year, you need to retire. It's over for you. You need to retire." Watson, who signed a 5-year, $230 million fully guaranteed contract in 2022, has not played in a regular season game since Week 7 of the 2024 season, when he initially tore his Achilles tendon. Watson suffered another Achilles injury in January 2025, causing a major setback to his recovery. Watson posted videos on social media in November suggesting he may be nearing full recovery from his Achilles injury, but he did not return to play in a game. According to Cleveland.com's Mary Kay Cabot, Monken had reportedly been intrigued by Watson, who earned 3 Pro Bowl selections during his career, as a potential starting quarterback. However, Sanders flashed his talent when he had the opportunity to start in his rookie season. Sanders, whom the Browns selected in the 5th round in the 2025 draft, appeared in 8 games, starting 7 of them. He completed 56.6% of his passes for 1,400 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. He was named a Pro Bowl alternate. Despite the mixed statistics, Smith sees promise in Sanders' situation. "When they brought him on board, they seemed reluctant to give him an opportunity," Smith said. "When they gave him an opportunity, they seemed reluctant for him to shine. The bottom line is that this is a better situation for Sanders. There is no doubt about that. We wish him luck. He's got a lot to prove. He does seem to be in a better situation with Todd Monken in terms of a coach apparently willing to give him a chance." In the loud, flickering universe of sports television, few voices cut through the static like Stephen A. Smith. His words don't merely travel, they detonate. So when he looked straight into the camera and delivered a message to a veteran quarterback, if you can't win the job against Shedeur Sanders, retire. It wasn't just a take. It was a gauntlet thrown at the feet of pride, legacy, and time itself. Because this isn't just about football. It's about the clock. Every veteran quarterback lives with it. The silent ticking behind every throw. The whisper that arm strength fades, that knees stiffen, that the young guns are coming. And right now, one of those young guns has a name that echoes through stadium tunnels and draft boards alike. Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur doesn't walk onto the field, he arrives.
Poised. Polished.
Carrying not only his own ambition but the gravitational pull of being the son of Deion Sanders. He represents the new NFL prototype. Confident, camera-ready, fearless, raised in the spotlight and unbothered by it. And that's what makes Stephen E.'s challenge sting. It's not disrespect, it's Darwinism. The league has no patience for sentimentality. Contracts don't care about nostalgia. Locker rooms don't award starting jobs based on what you did 5 years ago. If a rookie, even one with hype, can outperform you in camp, read defenses quicker, move better, throw sharper, then what exactly are you holding on to? Stephen E.'s voice rises because he understands something brutal and simple. Quarterback is not a mentorship program. It is a meritocracy wrapped in violence and ego. If the kid beats you, the kid plays. But beneath the heat of that declaration lies a deeper tension, the fear every veteran avoids naming. What if the torch isn't passed? What if it's taken? The veteran quarterback wakes before dawn, icing joints that didn't ache in his 20s. He studies film longer because experience is now his edge. He tells himself leadership matters. Command matters. Respect matters. And it does. But does it matter more than a 24-year-old arm that can launch a 60-yard rope-off platform? That's the question Stephen A. forces into the open. If you cannot definitively, unquestionably outplay Shedeur Sanders, not outcharm him, not out-history him, not out-excuse him, but outplay him, then maybe the game has already answered you. Retirement in sports is rarely graceful. It sneaks in disguised as competition. It shows up when coaches start using phrases like open battle. It arrives when the crowd cheers just a little louder for the backup in preseason. And for Shedeur, this isn't personal. It's opportunity. He grew up around greatness. He understands the business. He's watched his father reinvent himself from Hall of Fame cornerback to headline-grabbing coach. He knows legacy isn't inherited, it's earned. If he wins the job, it won't be because of his last name. It'll be because he was better. That's what makes Stephen A.'s proclamation so sharp. It strips away excuses. No politics. No favoritism. No reputation cushioning. Just production. There's something almost gladiatorial about it. Two quarterbacks enter camp. One leaves as QB1. The other faces a mirror. For the veteran, pride becomes both fuel and burden. He can rage against the take. He can call it disrespectful. He can cite years of service. But deep down, he knows the rule hasn't changed since Pop Warner Fields and high school Friday nights. If the young guy is better, he plays. Stephen A. doesn't whisper what fans are thinking. He amplifies it. Because fans sense transition before organizations admit it. They see zip-on throws. They see hesitation. They feel momentum shift. And momentum is ruthless. Still, there's another layer to this story, one beyond hot takes and viral clips. It's about evolution. The NFL reinvents itself every 5 years. Pocket passers give way to dual-threat stars. Old systems crumble under new schemes. Adapt or step aside. So perhaps Stephen Yes' message isn't cruelty. Perhaps it's clarity. If you're the veteran quarterback and you can beat Shedeur Sanders, then do it. Silence the debate with performance. Make the decision impossible to reverse. Win so convincingly that even the loudest commentator nods in respect. But if you can't, then the game is telling you something your pride doesn't want to hear. Walk away before you're pushed. Because the league doesn't remember how long you held on. It remembers how you finished. Some retire too early and wonder what if. Others stay too long and become the answer. Stephen A. Smith thrives in the theater of confrontation, but his challenge carries the weight of competitive truth. Football is young. Football is fast. Football owes no one mercy. And somewhere on a practice field, as spirals cut through late summer air, a veteran quarterback knows this. The loudest voice in sports media isn't the real pressure.